And we are live.
Stop talking.
Huh?
Stop talking.
Stop talking.
Nobody wants to hear you.
Really? I'm pretty sure I want to hear me.
Well, that's you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm good.
Oh, wait. Somebody wants to hear you. Go ahead.
All right then. Okay. What's this? Oh, you got somebody in the live chat that I've known on Twitter. All right, here we go. Hold on a second. I gotta get that water. But anyways, before we get to the questions, yes, hello, I'm the Christian Anarchist, and you're turning out to Ask Christian Anarchist number 50. Oh my
50?
goodness. We
Oh,
are,
my.
yeah, we have done this for about 50 episodes.
Jesus.
Woo! Yes, I know. And as you can tell, we already have one person in here. He doesn't have a question at the moment, but hey, either way, it's Pin Valentine. Say,
Hi.
yeah, say hello, you fuzzy
Hi.
bundle of joy.
Hi, how's everybody? I don't like any of you.
Oh, I don't like you either.
Oh, I love
Uh,
you, Christian.
uh, well, that's interesting. All right. Just so you know, I do plan to stay single and abstinent. But point being,
Should I tell hipster?
I hope she's not watching. Anyways,
Yeah.
so point being, let's go to the question, the way of how you do this, and then we'll go to our first question that will go through the live chat here. So first, where do I put this? I keep losing track of this particular how to question. That's the thing.
You would think that you would have like an individual folder for it now.
Nah, it's shared in with my video thing. That's in my video folder. That's where I keep most of my stuff anyways. All right, here we go. So you can message me on Hangouts to get the link to come inside, just like where Pin is right now.
Hi.
You can use the live chat on YouTube, which I see some of y'all, especially Mr. Silver Reploid CLE, is asked a question. We'll get to him after Christian BL4H because I told him that he'd be first. Then we have tweeting your questions with the hashtag of AskCA. Make sure you also mention me and tag me in the post on Twitter so that way I can also verify and double check. Then, of course, you go to our Discord server, ask Christian Anarchist on the Discord server, and we will respond accordingly. Now, that being said, let's go on. Let's do this shindig. Starting with Christian, who says he's from South Africa. My goodness, surprised you have heard of me. So right here he says the question is, are you a Torah observant Christian? And I don't know, I guess where he's from, they use Christian with the two A's. No, I am not, because I am not obligated to follow or be under the specific laws of the Torah, because as Christians, we're not under the Mosaic covenant, but under the new covenant, the covenant that is sealed in the blood of Christ, that is represented by the wine and the communion of the Last Supper. Whereas for the seal, or the thing that sealed the deal on the old Mosaic covenant, was the Shabbat, the Sabbath keeping. And so these each have their own agreements, and that's usually how covenants work, is like a contract between different people. And so me in the contract as a Christian in Christ, we're under a specific set of agreements and laws, regulations, and that is in the law of Christ that Paul talks about in Galatians, and of which really there is love one another as you love yourself, and that's mostly about it. And that in Christ we find righteousness and such. So there's no need to observe Torah, because that's originally how things were viewed back then. So, I'm not a Torah observant Christian. So thank you for your question there, Christian. I honestly need to know what BL4H stands for. Then we can do that. But anyways, Silver Reploid, who is your favorite, biggest channel to watch on YouTube? Good question.
Sauce.
No, though I have heard,
Amazing
I've seen some
atheist.
of it. Huh?
Amazing atheist. I knew it.
Well, technically, he's not even called that anymore. He's called the
TJ Kirk.
yeah, TJ Kirk. No, if I had to
Oh,
put a favorite down, uh,
Jacqueline Glenn. I knew it.
I'm trying to think because most of the stuff that I have, like on my subscription feed, um, that are considered big channels, or I guess one channel could be considered inspiring philosophy just because of some of the interesting content he's put out, especially the series he started called on Christianity and evolution. Basically, is trying to not necessarily go into the science, but can it be compatible of being a Christian and believing in evolution? The only time he went into science was in his introductory video, where he basically just, expounded upon that for one, that apparently there were different theories of evolution, which there were a whole lot more than I even thought about, and that each one has their different explanations of bringing about how things work, and he quotes all these different scientific articles that backs up the parts that is mentioned, especially the theory of convergence evolution. So
Wasn't convergence the only other theory, though?
no, based on what, because that's what I almost thought as well. But based on what I looked at in the video, he basically shows off this lecture that was done by Joshua Moritz, who was a philosopher of science, and he basically says that there are multiple ones, which is Lamarckian evolution, Darwinian natural selection, neo-Darwinian evolution, niche construction, evolution through symbiogenesis, evo-devo, and then what is the convergence, which is process structuralism, which is the other uh, name that's been attributed to this particular theory.
Ah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I never claimed to be a biologist.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like all some of the material he was getting this from was from like textbooks and such. So I just found some of the stuff interesting. But yeah, that inspiring philosophy, I'd have to say, is one person I'd like in terms of big channels. Um, so I guess that'd have to be the only thing I could think of at the moment for in terms of big names.
Have
Um,
you ever seen Rationality Rules?
I've heard of him.
I'm starting to like his content more and more.
Let me
You should check
see.
him out.
Oh, yeah, I've seen like I think I may have seen like a couple of things. I just need to see what the format's like.
I disagree with him on his ideas of morality, though.
Wait.
He agrees with the Sam Harris idea of morality, and I don't like that.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's that morality is objective, just not from God. Because,
Uh,
but in order to agree with him, you have to presuppose certain conditions and things like that, and or certain values, and I can't do that.
yeah, I know there was another guy that was he moderated one of my debates, Scott Gurton. He was found out he was an objectivist as well.
I mean, I'm not opposed to objectivism,
Mhm.
but I mean, there's got to be good reason for it.
Yeah.
And I don't. Sam Harris's objectivism doesn't work for me.
Understandable. Okay. So if anybody of y'all want to join the hangout, feel free to message me on Hangouts, and we'll get you in here. In fact, let me get the link to.
No,
Uh,
stay out. Oh,
why you want me for yourself?
of course.
I knew you would.
That is a brave move, sir.
Well, not my problem.
Last time I did that,
Oh,
I got sniped.
no, I didn't get the link out. So I just put the link to
Oh,
Google Hangouts, the website. That way, if people can then ask me for the link, I can then get them in. And that's an interesting thing too. So I've been finding out that that's somehow not been working because I've been like typing for new people and it won't let me pull up their name. So I'm gonna have to probably because I don't know if that'll still happen here. So I may have to figure out how to do it elsewhere. So if y'all are on YouTube, just say in the live chat y'all want the link, and I'll try to find a way to get you in here.
no, you won't.
But yeah. let me just check Discord to check our questions. All right. Al-Kitor, Muslim on here on the Discord server, asks, how can Melchizedek be created when he himself is omnipresent? I'm having a hard time trying to understand that. Being created yet I mean, I think you're trying to mean another term, because I don't know of any text that says Melchizedek is omnipresent. So I don't know if you're watching this, maybe you could elaborate on that, because I don't understand what you're trying to ask here. So hopefully we get that settled and figured out. Sorry about that, people. Let's see here. Christian 96 asks, how do you handle the crazy premillennial dispensationalism crowd? What do you think is the fastest growing heresy? Hebrew roots movement? And will Lutherans and the Reformed grow closer or further apart? Okay, so you basically just ask 3 and 1. Wow, that's very weighty on my part, but hey, I'll try my best to answer regardless. Okay. I don't know too much of how to identify who's a premillennial dispensationalist. So I would just handle them like I handle everybody else, with patience and calmness and humility. Let's see. Then, what do I think is the fastest growing heresy? I wouldn't say Hebrew roots or the Hebrew Israelites, because they're very small and they ain't that fast. Growing, I would say Roman Catholicism would probably most likely be the fastest growing, because it is considered the largest of the sects of Christianity in the world by far, and especially
growing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's growing.
Yeah, it's growing.
Really, Catholicism is growing.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Well, at least I'm saying this in terms of in terms of the Christian sect. Now, if it was just a general heresy, I would say Islam, because there's a reason why for that. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Pew Review study that they did on that.
I haven't.
Yeah, I'll put a link to it later. But it's interesting that the fact of Islam is the fastest growing religion is true, but the fact is of what research has just come out that's indicated why that is the case. Yeah, then the next question: will Lutherans and Reformed grow closer or further apart? I think they will probably, at least the Orthodox ones, will grow closer if they, focus on the common ground that is to be set. If there are people that are trying to get people further apart just because of simple minor disagreement issues like on limited atonement and communion practices and all that kind of stuff, I mean, I think there's a lot more stuff that's more important for the Christian church in these two different denominations than just simply what we're seeing and going on here. Anyways, I hope they get closer together and that there's no much separation at this point. By the way, I see the 7 people watching right now. Sorry if I sound like I'm stuttering and boring y'all, but hey, if y'all got questions, submit them in the live chat. We'll get to you, or add on over to Discord and do that too, because we may do a after show on Discord. So that's normally what we do. Try to aim for. All right. That being said, let us. I don't think we have much more on here unless Pin has a question.
I do not.
And of course you don't. You never have a question.
Not lately. I told you
Right.
I've been getting bored with this stuff lately, man. I haven't gone into looking at anything or anything, you know?
He hasn't gone to look at anything really.
Really,
Really.
really,
Really.
really,
Really, really.
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 Now, if they didn't click off before, they definitely did now.
Well, actually, we just gained somebody, so I
Hi,
win.
hi, new person.
Wait,
You're
what? Oh.
you should be blamed for you. I'm just gonna have to blame you. You're gonna have to blame yourself for joining this conversation or listening to this conversation.
All right. So in that case, we have L Dove. L Dove asks us, what do you think about the idealism advocated by inspiring philosophy? As far as the idealism, I mean, again, I haven't really studied much on the philosophy issue of what idealism means. So unless Penn, I don't know if you've studied that either. Unless you like have a dictionary on that, unless you're a walking dictionary.
Not on idealism, no. Let me
But
see
yeah.
if I can look it up. What is it called? Idealism by what?
Yeah, just idealism or something like. Guessing it's like a philosophy thing because it mentions inspiring philosophy. And I think he's covered a few videos on idealism lately. Okay, what I'm looking at Merriam-Webster says a theory that ultimate reality lies in a realm transcending phenomena. A theory that the essential nature of reality lies in the conscience or in consciousness or reason. A theory that only the perceptible is real. A theory that only mental states or entities are knowable. Okay, again, this doesn't help me as a layman comprehend what's being said. Um,
The idealism that I'm seeing on Wikipedia says that in philosophy, idealism is the group of philosophies which assert that reality, or reality as we can know it, is fundamentally mental, mentally constructed, or otherwise immaterial. Epistemologically, idealism manifests as a skepticism about the possibility of knowing any mind independent thing.
mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can tell you what I think about it.
What do you think?
It's unfalsifiable, which means it can't be which means it's more than likely inaccurate.
Mm. Well, like I said, it's still at this moment I can't. I'm not. I'll have to look more into it before I can really say anything. But I guess as long as it's only thing I can say is if it doesn't like compromise with the scriptures or the faith, that would mean I'm fine with it. Um, I do know inspired philosophy has had some strange sayings before, like the idea that he thinks that if the world is even though I think he did try to explain what he meant by it, of if the world was a virtual reality simulation program or something, they were like a brain in a vat kind of thing. It wouldn't necessarily disprove the existence of a god if the theory came true, because then he would just simply say it's in a way um, something that's only something that the atheist would see, but for us, it would just try to point out that there's some kind of a person that still has put us in this program of reality and that was created by God. And I don't know. So I've had some skepticisms on that kind of stuff. Um, and I have seen his videos on quantum mechanics, Dove, but it's just like the thing with the idealism thing. Quantum mechanics just flies right past me because
Yeah, even
it's
the
very
experts say that you understand. Where the hell did you come from? Sorry, just random villager in my Minecraft world just kind of just popped out of nowhere.
well, those guys will happen.
What did he
Oh,
give me?
looks like Spartan theology wants in, but Spartan is from Sparta. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see where he goes. Uh, Christian96 says, "Thank you, CA, for answering my questions. The ALCA Lutheran Church I attend was at one point a joint Lutheran and Reformed congregation way back when. So just an interesting fact, I guess. Lol. Oh, that's it. That's a very interesting thing there. That might be the first time I'd ever say I would go and attend a Lutheran service, I guess, to see like that kind of mixed diversity. And I don't know what I don't know what's going on over here. A guy named Shamiaim, or however you say it. So guard your left. Let me start at the first because I think he's continuing. I feel it, my blood. It time for battle. Uh, I feel the rain come down from heavens above. Dark feeling for revenge, taken over. I love. So guard your left and check your right. It's the showdown. Are you ready to fight? See, is this a poem or a rap or something?
Uh,
You step to me anytime, best bring your shovel. I'm bury your career and do it on my level or on my favorite level. Well, if your favorite level is if your favorite level is on Super Smash Brothers, then sure, bring it, I guess. Strength, Elliot, or Gen Fu. Still don't understand. I bet you learned the hard way. Sneak up from behind. Hayabusa or Yang.
that's supposed to be a poem or a rap or something.
I,
I'm sorry, but it's not very good.
I don't
Um,
I don't
the
even know what's going on,
the
honestly, so I'm just
syllables
gonna
are
ignore
all
it.
off and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
just because it
I'm just
rhymes doesn't make it good.
yeah, I'm just gonna ignore it and take a look at it later. You know. So
Yeah.
hopefully there's someone where is Spartan? I told him I'd give him the code or the link. He says it's a poem. All right. So where in the world? I don't know. But folks who are watching on the live chat, I see there's 7 of you that are watching. You want to submit a question, feel free to do so. We really, unless by some miraculous miracle, Penn decides to have a question on him.
Um. Oh, I know. Never mind.
Oh, for goodness sake, I thought we actually had you.
Yeah, I tend to do that.
Yeah, you always do. All right. I don't know. Oh, well, I guess until you know, there'd be one way to throw off some advertisement in here. Where are you?
I'm right
Click
here.
this.
Oh.
I know you are.
Oh.
I know because you're about as bright lit and colorful as they come.
That I am. That I am. I'm glad you noticed.
Yes. Anyway, so for those of you who are wanting a good bit of interesting literature to read, check out, again, this is a very good site, the Chapel Library, where they offer absolutely free literature. Anything from Charles Spurgeon booklets, gospel tracts, anything to A.W. Pink's tracts and booklets, Bonner and John Piper, J.C. Ryle. You pretty much have a huge list, and it's all for free. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, hop on your computer. You're already on your computer. Open up a tab, get to opening up and ordering some gospel tracts and booklets. You wonderful, awesome peeps and peepettes.
I
I'm
might
not
even look
sexist.
at it.
Wait, what?
I might even look at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's always fun to read dumb shit sometimes.
Oh, that's why. It's actually got some good stuff on there, especially with stuff on George Mueller. He
Who is George Mueller? I don't know that
he
name.
huh?
I don't know that name. Who is that?
He was a guy that started over in Bristol, England, and as a Christian, he basically was the director of the Ashley Down Orphanage, and of which he took care of and at least cared for about 12,000 or 10,000 uh, street orphans during his time. This was during the time of like when Oliver Twist came out, even though Mueller was very much aware of the orphanage problem in England before uh, Oliver Twist was even made. So he raised up to what would be in our community $180 million, and he raised up all this money so that he could build the orphanage that he had to bring in more of the poor children. Built 117 schools which offered Christian education and to over 120,000 children, most of them being orphans that didn't have the uh, money to get an education or go to a school. So he was pretty much considered a hero in terms of the trying to help out the homeless population for children. Since I don't know how the other homeless thing was, but apparently back then, street children, just little kids that were growing up starving and trying to resort into stealing and all that. That was a very big thing, I guess, over in England back then.
Mm.
And George Mueller was one of the icons that helped try to uh, bring up and remove uh, the issue about children's being orphans. So in a way,
Good
he's
on
just
him.
kind. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the. Oh yeah, Charles Dickens was the guy that made Oliver Twist. So he kind of was like how Charles Dickens was trying to end that whole thing. Mueller was another icon in that particular revolution.
Oh, well, good on him.
Mhm. And so there's a. I think the only thing that's written that I think is from him, besides a few tracks, is his journal entries and selected works of his, which very interesting reads from him. All right, so we got two questions coming in. Ugh, so if y'all have any more, come on, people, send them in. Send them in. We have Shimyames asks, "What do you think about Sa Netter TV?"
What is that?
I'm looking it up right now. I don't even know.
I'm gonna look it up too.
Uh, yeah. Oh, it's some apparently a YouTube channel, I guess. And if it's what I think it is, let me take a look.
Sonator Studios,
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
because that's what. And then there's a Sonator TV2,
Yeah,
which
it
is
looks like
the
because some
guy.
of the stuff I'm seeing on here is
It looks like he.
affiliated with Hebrew Israelite stuff because it says brother Zabak and then it's like they're in the robes and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. If that's the case, I already don't like him.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know the guy, but if it's like Hebrew Israelite promotion stuff, then I'd say that the person's in some bad mojo and some heretical uh, garbage that he needs to get clean and get out of. So I would ask if he is involved in that to repent and to turn uh, to Christ for redemption of his ways. So that would be my overall general plea. And I just got a message from Hashinobi Hashinobi, a
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ger- he's a German Muslim Quranist.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. By the way, for those who don't know, Quranist means one that only believes in the Quran only and that hadiths are all fabricated and they're not true. So
Would that make you a biblist? Bibleist? I don't know how you would say it.
great. I ended up getting dropped out of my own Hangout. I ended up pressing the X button when trying to just do something.
Damn, I wish I had known or paid attention. If known, I would have taken over.
Let's
Like,
see.
y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
I'll. It is interesting to have you in here. That's an interest. You just an interesting person. Anyways,
I'm aware.
but nah, like it's just not a biblicist, but he's just like because there are traditions in Islam is to follow the Quran and the Hadith, which is like Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, all these other works that contain the sayings and the examples of Muhammad. But there are people that have skepticisms about whether or not if these were actually authentic sayings, and also most of the reasons why people like him reject the Hadith is because it makes very inaccurate statements in the Hadith that are contradictory to the Quran, and they contradict science, and they contradict logic and reason, and all that kind of stuff. So that's part of the basis in which they do their whole thing. He's mostly like a follower of some guy named Edip Yüksel, who's a Quranist individual. I've actually challenged that guy to a debate before, that Edip, but he hasn't responded. All right, so show question. The Faded One asks, what is your opinion on surrogacy? Oh, hang on a second. Let me just make sure I get the freshness of that word, because I substitute especially despise it. I'm assuming when you say surrogate, that's like a surrogate mother, right?
What was the question?
He asked what was my opinion on surrogacy, and I'm assuming that means like in terms of like what a surrogate parent is.
Oh, I support it. Sounds good to me.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what they. Okay, here we go. Surrogacy, a method or agreement whereby a woman agrees to carry a pregnancy for another person or persons will become the newborn child's parents after birth. Intended parents may seek a surrogacy arrangement when either pregnancy is medically impossible, pregnancy risks present an unacceptable danger to the mother's health, or is a same-sex couple's preferred method of having children. I mean, yeah, not necessarily for the last reason, but I mean, in terms of I'm going to speak. I'm speaking my mind here. But my point is, in terms of just in general, what surrogacy is. I mean, there's definitely moments when a medical hazard can be introduced when concerning the health of certain women in terms of this, and then of course some people this is the most classical case, is that some women just are unable to bear children. That there's something wrong with the eggs, but if the people really want to have a child, then they bring forth that. And I think in one way, the Bible does actually have an instance where surrogacy is mentioned, and as Abraham and his wife, the wife was too old to bear a child, and in fact, the only time she did bear a child later on was because of a miracle from God with it. But
is that surrogacy though?
Not that part, but the one before where it was the slave girl. I forgot what her name was.
I don't remember her name either.
I want to say Hagar or something like that.
Yeah, it was Hagar. You're right.
All right, so Hagar, so she basically gave Abraham permission to sleep with the slave girl Hagar to have a child, and so that kind of became the kind of basis and thing right there. So So I guess in a way, I mean, I support surrogacy in the same way that definitely the Bible definitely seems to support it. Given, of course, if the circumstance, if you're just doing it just for generality, then I mean, it's that it defeats the purpose and the point, in my opinion. Anyways, you're not getting a lot of questions. Uh,
You're
in a
falling out
live
of
chat.
popularity, Christian. What are you gonna do?
Well, we've got 7 people watching, so I don't know what they're doing.
Have you invited people in here?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they know this. They see the link. They see what's going on. And I don't know what's going on. So maybe I don't know that if they're watching something, or if maybe somehow the thing was on Skylar Fiction's channel is getting intense. I highly doubt it, though.
Well, the second season of Stranger Things did just come out. Apparently, that's popular for some reason that I don't understand. Maybe they're out watching that.
Well, I mean, of course, Stranger Things. It's a good show.
Is it though?
Have you seen it?
I saw the first episode and I was not in any way transfixed.
You got to keep watching it. It's because the
Yeah,
main thing that it's based that they bring it off of is just the
they're not going to have me in the first episode. I don't care. I just don't care. It's like that with any show, though.
All right. I'm surprised that no one is asking a question. I've sent the link out to all the different kinds of places. I've even gone on to Twitter. Not a single person has tried asking a question. Unless I'm gonna check my Skype. Unless maybe Veckel or somebody has asked a question. We will see. Anyways, anything you want to ask or bring up or mention or talk about?
Nah, I'm
But
good.
you're good.
I'm good.
Are you GOOD good?
I'm GOOD good.
Good like French fries?
Good like some French fries, not In and Out. In and Out French fries are terrible.
I see.
Right there we go.
Okay. Well, finally we got somebody. Christian96. What is your opinion of Saint Francis of Assisi? There's a random question.
This is a random question. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
It's some saint of the Catholic Church. And the one thing that's interesting about that guy is that there's a quote that's popularly and famously attributed to Saint Francis, and that is, um, uh, "Go preach the gospel everywhere you go, and if possible, use words," or something like that. Even though there's no record of where he actually says this, it's just one of those like
Something somebody
famous by attribution.
says but didn't actually say, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. It's just that it's something he may have said, but it's just there's no written document that shows where the quote's from.
Ah,
It's just something that makes a good meme these days.
see, said the blind man to the deaf guy. I hear you, said the deaf guy to the mute. Said the mute.
Mm. So, and then Christian Nunez, how are you? I'm fine. Just chilling it. I don't know. I'm trying to wake up. That's the most important part. That's why I got sparkling strawberry Dasani right next to me.
Dude, I slept for 5 hours last night. I worked late last night and then had to work early today. I am tired as tired can be. And I still got to do my show after this. Oh, I just want to go to fucking bed.
I mean,
Guess it works.
yep.
Nope. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Nope. Go away.
What is? Oh, you're playing on Minecraft. I keep forgetting that.
I built a mob farm that I think is working.
Okay, David Bonani, music and anime, wants me to review something on an article and give my thoughts on it. So let's take a look at this. Okay, apparently it says it comes from anonymous, independent, and investigative works. And it says, hang on, let me present to everyone here. Previous untranslated writings of Islamic prophet Muhammad contradict ISIS persecution of Christians. So untranslated writings of the what untranslated writings could there be? That's my question. There's evidence that terrorists operating in the name of Islam, including ISIS, know nothing about the religion. Muslim observers say that the members of the ISIS, I wonder who was the editor here, cannot even recite the first chapter of the Quran, the Islamic holy book. Some of them most likely can, because they're just in it to be thugs. I guarantee you that those who definitely are devout into the faith, and you can see some of them have their own thing, they will recite specifically the first chapter because that's an important part of the faith. The fundamental goal of these terrorists is to terrorize and oppress people who do not share their diabolical ideology. Right. Since the emergence of ISIS, Christians and other religious minority groups in the Middle East have suffered brutalities at the hands of these terrorists. In a recent study, Dr. Craig Considine, a researcher at Rice University in Texas, has uncovered translated writings of the Prophet Muhammad which directly contradict what ISIS is doing in the name of the religion. And we'll try to see what the specific writings are in this thing here later. According to Dr. Considine, these previously untranslated writings can act as a kind of medicine to cure the diseases of Islamic extremism and Islamophobia among terrorist groups aligning themselves with Islam, and a negative perception about Islam in the West. The writings reveal that Prophet Muhammad never encouraged his followers to repress or use violence against Christians or other religious groups based on their faith. The writings document between 622 and 632 AD with direct messages from Muhammad, who is said to have defended and protected Christians and other religious groups living in the Arabic community. He also urged his followers to toe the same lines when he was gone. So he considers Prophet Muhammad's vision of a Muslim nation to be one with religious pluralism and civil rights, stating that the rediscovery of these documents could ease anti-Muslim sentiments in the West. He noted that the theme of the message was peace and that he never advocated violence, saying his message radiates compassion and peace. This is what American society and indeed the world needs now more than ever. Okay, so I get the gist of what is being said here. I'll have to look more to see what it means by what specific writings he's mentioning. But to simply say, as the guy said, that he never advocated for violence against Christians, I want to show you guys something. And for English translation, I'll be using the Clear Quran translation that I have a copy of, and I'll show it on the internet screen here. But and I'll even use the Arabic too on the text, so people can follow along with that. Because I know people say, "Oh, you're not citing the Quran or showing the Quran if you don't show the Arabic." There's your Arabic right there. So right here we have, it starts, "O believers, indeed the polytheists are spiritually impure, so they should not approach the sacred mosque after this year. If you fear poverty, Allah will enrich you out of his bounty if he wills. Surely Allah is all-knowing and all-wise." How does Allah plan to ease their fear of poverty and saying that he will enrich them out of bounty? Well, as we go into the next verse, it says, "Fight those who do not believe in Allah and the last day, nor comply with what Allah and his messenger have forbidden, nor embrace the religion of truth among those who are given the scripture." And the people, it says those who are given the scripture. One of the things that that I've noted that the translation usually goes down to is people of the book, the people of the Al-Kitab, um, until they pay the tax, willingly submitting and fully humbled. And the thing that's actually interesting about the word humbled there in the text is that that's not what it means. The Arabic that's used there is actually humiliated, not humbled. So keep that in mind. So they were given the scripture and they must pay the tax. That's where we get the issue about the poverty and the enriching of the out of the bounty. So it says that, and we know that it's talking about the people of the scriptures, in other words, Christians and Jews, because most of the commentaries or translations say this. And plus it then goes on to say that the Jews say Ezra is the son of God, while the Christians say the Messiah is the son of God. Such are their baseless assertions, only parroting the words of early disbelievers. May Allah condemn them. So obviously Christians and Muslims are in this text of, of a command to fight against these specific people. And that's just in the Quran, in this case. There's all kinds of different passages in the Hadith, as I was telling great, I had a brain fart on your name because I'm looking at something else. Pin. So I was telling Pin earlier, there are Hadith that mentions that Muhammad came with a much different that his mission was very interesting, such as in Sahih Bukhari, he says, but if they repent by rejecting shirk, which is polytheism, and accepting Islam, this is narrated by Ibn Umar, Muhammad said, I have been ordered by Allah to fight against the people until they testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is Allah's messenger, and offer the prayers perfectly and give the obligatory charity. So if they perform that, then they save their lives and property from me. So this is from Sahih Bukhari, and Sahih Bukhari is considered the most authentic of the Hadith collections, meaning it's very authentic and that Muhammad most likely said these. This is not just my own opinion. This is the opinion of Islamic scholars, even of the peaceful types in their studies, like Zul al-Hadith by Bilal Phillips. And in Ibn Kathir's The Life of the Prophet Muhammad, he says that, quote, Allah ordered them to wage jihad against the people of the scriptures unless they believed or agreed to pay the jizya. So, again, there have been many of things where even in Sahih Muslim repeats the same thing, that he's been commanded to fight against people until they declare there's no God but Allah. And once you do that, then you are guaranteed protection of your property and life from Muhammad. So this idea that, oh, we got these things that are in contradiction here. Well, here we have other translated sources that are said to come from, though they're written years later, the Isnad chains supposedly are reliable to say that they are the words of what Muhammad said. And Muhammad is said in this authentic Orthodox Islamic sources from even the peaceful Muslims, like in Sahih Bukhari and the Quran, that Muhammad waged jihad. Muhammad waged war. So, and in fact, in Sunan Abu Dawud, there's supposed to be some part in there that says that Muslims are allowed to fight with unbelievers until they utter the credo of Islam. So, I mean, again, these are just things that I wish people would just take the time to look at the sources from the Muslims themselves, not just simply, just trusting whatever you read online. Just pick up the scholarly sources on these materials, and you will see what the text says. And if you're going to say this, talking about peaceful, I agree. There are peaceful verses like, to you be your religion, to me be my religion. There's no compulsion in religion, but they get contradicted by these other passages. So again, just bleh, people.
People suck.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this ain't coming from like the actual anonymous guys, because I mean, the hopefully they have done their better research on this specific issue. Now, if you're a Muslim that's trying to advocate for peace, then good for you. But but I don't think that your religion itself, uh, alone within the Quran and the Hadith, are a only peace. That there is war that's involved there, and due to the doctrine of abrogation, the last major chapter that was revealed to Muhammad is Surah 9, and that's where we get the most violent passages of the Quran of all. And according to abrogation, whatever comes later, that nullifies earlier revelation if there's contradictions. That's how they deal with contradictions in the Quran. If the revelation comes later, then it nullifies the earlier, because it's that we bring a revelation that's better than the other. And so what is the latest revelation that was revealed? Surah 9, the violent chapter, otherwise known as the chapter of the sword. Something for consideration. All right. All right, so thank you for your question there, David. Hopefully we gave you an interesting review on that. Yeah. Just trying to check on something. Oh, right. So for those who are wondering about if y'all are going to go to the AVC Anime Festival that's going on be next Saturday. I'll be there, and so far it looks like they're already setting up everything. They already have like a room set up where what's being at the main stage, a screening room, because I know they were going to be showing some movies. What's this? Oh wow, what do they have here? Animax. Oh wow, an anime club's going to be there. That's going to be some. A game, yeah, of course, a GameStop. Lazy Nerd Designs, Anime Addiction. Yes, and of course, who could forget if you got the people there: Mike McFarlane, Carlos Farrow, Aaron Cahill, and Austin Tyndale. Panels up for then just people going over to see them, get autographs and all that, and merchandise.
Cool.
Yeah, you know what? I should probably bring my mask that I used one time.
Mask.
Yeah, like you ever heard of Tokyo Ghoul?
Have I? Yeah, I have heard of that. I don't know what it is.
Well, I have the mask from the main character of the show, and that's who's going to be there.
Cool.
So I don't know. I might just go there just so I can like freak him out or something like that. Because I don't know how many people like have showed up and in that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start investing some money into doing voice acting, but I don't know if I would ever want to do an anime.
Well, that's what I said. Just like, I mean, go on to like a casting call and something like that. That'll help you out with voice acting.
Yeah, and I want to be a voiceactor.com, and UNLV, which is the university here in Vegas, has a really good voice acting course. It's not like a degree program or a certificate program. It's just classes that they hold. And so I'm going to start doing that as well.
Yeah.
An audiobook sounds fun.
An audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds very
You
good.
wouldn't want to do an audiobook?
I've thought about it, but I mean, I get easily yawn. When I yawn, it's not pretty.
I believe that.
Of course you believe that. I'm telling you. All right, so Blackpack's going to try to join us because somebody else finally decides to ask to come inside the hangout.
Finally, somebody interesting I can talk to.
Well, he's certainly interesting. I don't know about you two, though. All right, so let's see here. But yeah, Christian 96 knows who I'm talking about. Kaneki. Surgical. Well, I don't see Blackpack coming in. Oh, there he goes. As soon as I say it, he just shows up. All right, welcome, Black.
Yo, what's up?
Not much. We are about almost an hour left worth of show.
Already?
Yep.
Really? Man, I just realized that today was Friday, and I was trying to, rush in to see if you were here. And I'm already at the end of the show. Dang.
Yeah, well, we got like an hour left, so I mean, we got plenty of time. Not a lot of people have been sending in questions lately, though. That's the thing. I don't know why that is.
You're losing popularity. That's what it is. Oh, damn.
For a guy that's like 40 more subscribers away till 1,000, I don't think so. You got anything for that?
No, I completely ignored what you just said. I was reading chat in Minecraft.
Oh, for goodness sake. All right. All right, Blackpack, you're on the show. You have a question.
I know.
No, I don't really have a question right now, per se. No.
Dang it. I hate the both of you.
You know I'm here only to destroy your show eventually.
You just showing up right now is destroying it.
That's my plan.
Yeah, just look at you. You're the most your profile picture is just absolutely hideous.
That's a cute picture.
No, it is ugly.
It's beautiful.
It is ugly. It makes me want to just smother my face in mashed potatoes and bash right on some more.
That's the most feminine colors I've ever seen in my life.
They're beautiful and very meaningful colors.
Well, all I can say is red's my favorite color, but other than that, pink's got to go.
Pink is the best color.
No, it's not.
If red is your favorite color, then you must have the most beautiful eyes, Anarchist.
I do have the most beautiful eyes.
I have red eye too, man. You know, right here. Look at that red bloodshot demonic eye. Isn't it beautiful, man?
It is. I love it.
It's the most crimsiest thing you've ever seen. It's so crisp, man.
Okay, Christian says, if I didn't know who that was, my girlfriend would kill me. Lol, so I know who Kaneki is.
What?
Kaneki?
Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Liturgical is the kind, and apparently I've been informed, liturgical is the kind of church services that Lutherans, Anglicans, Catholics, and Orthodox have. So I guess even Lutherans or Anglicans have this kind of thing. I sent you the code. In fact, you're actually in the Hangout. I sent you the link. So, Spartan Theology, you want to get in here, just look where I sent the link earlier. You can click on that. Or you can just press on that green camera button and it'll get you in here.
Or you can run.
Or I could slap you, my friend. I'll slap you with a Bible. I'll show you the meaning of a Bible thumper.
That might burn.
Yeah. But yeah, Blackpack, I'm actually going to meet the voice of Kaneki in next week.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean Japanese or English, though?
English.
Yeah. Oh my God. How did you get how did you get that connection?
It's called anime convention, son.
Oh my gosh! Wait, so you're saying you're gonna be in a line to shake his hand?
Not probably shake hand. Probably get a video. Probably get a picture while I'm at it.
Oh yeah, you better get a picture. I want to see this.
Yeah, maybe I'll get him to do a shout out to my YouTube channel as Kaneki.
You better, man. You better.
It depends on the pricing because I know that, like when I went and saw Todd Habercorn, who did Natsu from Fairy Tale, it was $15 to get a voice uh, take from him. But when I met David Vincent, Grimjow from Bleach, he did that for free. In fact, I got 2 recordings of him, one for my channel and another for a client I took care of for caretaking service. And what's this? All right. I'll have to take a look at check on my friend after this. But yeah, like so because he did voice a couple of characters from video games that my client was familiar with.
Like what?
Gene Kisaragi from Blaze Blue and Martial Law from Tekken.
Really?
Yeah.
Gene Kisaragi is blue. And
Yeah, Gene Kisaragi of Blaze Blue. At least the English dub version.
So the voice actor for Grimjow voice that he voiced Jin.
Yeah, he voices Jin.
Oh my god! I never knew he could voice an extreme homosexual brother.
that is pretty much how he's described. Gene is like he has this very big obsession with his own brother.
Brother.
It's so good to see you, brother. That's like the only line he really does whenever he's reciting that character.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's it. Hello, Sormax. We see you in the live chat.
Why is Jin gay though? I mean, why the hell is he so obsessed with his brother though?
Well, I don't think it's because he's gay. I just think he is very considerate of his brother and wants to think of ways to surprise him. Who knows? Maybe all these times that they encounter, it's probably about to be Ragnarok's birthday or something.
I'm sorry, but the way they're showing that something more than just brotherly love.
I could not understand you, to be honest. You were kind of mumbling in and out.
Oh, the way they're making this character is making it seem more than just brotherly love. I mean, seriously, this is justification for millions of fanfics of Jin and Ragnar.
Well, it is what you, I guess, wanted in fanfics. I mean, that's the thing. Fan fiction is fan fiction, and nothing else. It's not canon. Oh, what's this? Stormix said, sorry I didn't use you. I don't use YouTube much, but I found you from looking up Christian anime videos. Well, that explains a lot, because, I mean, I've tried doing anime parables where I cover Christian themes in anime shows. So, yep. And plus, here's the one thing. I've been getting a lot of comments on one old video I did a long time ago. And that is Christian's anime and Colossians 3:16 through 17.
Wait, dude, explain it to me. I need to know, like what connections you find between Christian anime.
The what?
You said that you did a parable between Christian and anime stuff?
Yeah, I'm just looking at different animes and I'm seeing the certain connections founded in the thing.
Oh, they're like this.
Oh, hold on a second. I had to put Surreal on the broadcast. What's up, So?
CA, my long lost brother, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brah. I'm hoping that one day you return to the orthodoxy of Protestantism.
Maybe I might one day return to the branch.
Is this the Jamaican?
No, he's just
Is this the Jamaican?
I got I might depending on how you go about this, we're about to get this party started. There's a dude that wants to talk to me tonight on a hangout on a crazy question of does Jesus does Jesus have 2 birthdays? So now I could just start my hangout like I wanted to, but I saw that you had a hangout, so I'm like, you know what? instead of have a boring one-on-one, maybe I should just invite him in here and like, maybe we can all pick his brain and hear him out and kind of see where it goes.
Well, that could be an interesting question we deal with because we've been getting some basic ones lately. Like we've been not having much questions going on.
So,
Oh,
so you
man.
would have a person here that believes that Jesus had 2 birthdays, a couple
Bruh.
people in here who believe that Jesus had 1 birthday, and one person here who believed that Jesus had no birthdays.
I'm telling you, man, it's about to go down. So,
From
if
3
you want me
different
to invite
directions.
him, if you want me to invite him, I will. All you gotta do is give me the link.
Yeah, I mean, you just
Sides to this.
just go to the Hangouts thing and just add him in here. Yeah, just do what you can, man.
Christian,
All right, hold on.
you are
Yeah,
aware that there are going to be 3 different sides to this, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Probably.
Oh man, this is gonna get
We're just gonna mostly deal with the Christians, though. Plus, this is Ask Christian Anarchist, so my show gonna be on my show, my deal, my biz. What's up? But no, in all seriousness, I don't know. We'll see how this takes because we got about 50 minutes left.
That might be fun.
Pin,
Yes.
I got a question for you.
You got a question for me on your show?
Yes, I do.
Okay, fire away.
Who is Sornex?
Oh, I have no idea. Never heard that name before.
Wait, because I'm hearing I ship you and that girl.
What girl? You talking about me?
Wait, because I'm if this is what I think is being talked about, is
Yeah,
the sister hipster thing.
Sorry,
Yeah,
are you talking about me or hipster sister? Because when you say ship you and that girl,
It's not hipster sister, it's sister hipster.
it's probably sister hipster. I certainly hope so. Same as on here. It is me. What the hell?
Why would you?
You two make a lovely couple. I can see you two.
I agree, but Christian has made it very clear that he does not want me, and it makes me feel very lonely.
No, I do not want you.
No, maybe Jen Kisaragi wants you. Just disguise yourself as his brother and you're set.
I will slap you.
Oh, so he clarified it is sister hipster. Well, then don't say on here, you weird ass.
I'm trying to figure out who is Soren because I'm looking I'm trying to find in the chat on Discord, and it says Soren X, but I don't see a Soren X.
Yeah, I don't recognize the name.
Let me check the channel. Got some good people on there. Liked videos.
Where's sister hipster?
Black Pack, what are you doing?
Me?
Yes, you.
What? Why are you asking?
Oh my god.
What?
It was a loud beep.
Yeah, that's what's
Hey, so there seems to be a bit of difficulty. He can only get into Hangouts if someone emails him the link. He
That's
says that he's on his
strange.
track phone, and there's this little trick that he uses on his track phone to get in, but he has to be given a link. So I put the email in the description section. So if anybody can just email him the link, then
Yeah, I'll get him the link. Just give me
That's
a second.
weird. Don't trust emails. Maybe he's trying to. He's like that Prince guy, the Nigerian Prince guy. I will give you $1 million if you send me your credit card information. Okay, sounds great. Let's do it. Forgive me, I'm just changing the batteries on my keyboard because my keyboard decided to die on me.
Well, there you go. But we'll see where it goes. Let me just paste this to get the guy in here.
I think I did this right.
All right, where is okay, so Snornex has actually shown him or herself. There we go. Oh, apparently the person is Twitter verified and Twitch verified. Very short tweets, I will say that much. I don't know. Whoa, okay. Y'all need to calm down.
What's going on over there? Don't make me come over. Don't make me come over and act like Kevin Spacey. I mean, come on.
Okay, TMI. Okay.
I'll pull Kevin Spacey on you.
What
I'm
is
so
TMI?
sad to hear about that. Kevin Spacey is one of my favorite actors. I'm so
Well,
sad.
my coworkers have basically said that it's pretty much like what's his name? Oh yeah, coworkers have said his new name. His new name is no longer Kevin Spacey. It's Kevin. Hey, okay, we're just gonna mute you until
Kevin,
you have a
what?
question. Kevin Gacy.
Oh my God, that's just fucked up.
Wait,
Well,
what?
it's
If
funny.
you're gonna make fun of him for something, make fun of him for the fact that he made a pass on a 14-year-old boy.
We did,
what?
but at the same time, it rhymes better with Gacy.
Wait, what happened?
You got a point. You got a point. You got a point.
What up?
Kevin Spacey ended up a while back ended up
Who's
making
Kevin-
a pass on a 14-year-old suggestive groping, I guess.
Yeah, now some cast members of the of his show came out and said some shit now.
Wait, hold up. I'm just now seeing this.
So this dude called Kevin Stacy tried to get with a 14-year-old kid.
Join VC. Okay.
Yeah, apparently in a drunken stupor, and then some cast member said the same thing on House of Cards. So he's now under investigation. House of Cards is suspended, and I guess he's undergoing treatment.
All
Who's
right.
Kevin?
All
Who's
right,
Kevin
hang on.
Spacey?
Hold up. All right, so Stock, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my!
All right, so is this the guy, Surreal?
He calls himself GMS Long Island. He's a
GMS.
Israelite. Yeah.
So he's a member of the GMS Hebrew Israelite group.
Oh Jesus!
He says he is.
All right. So I'm assuming the question you had for me was in regards to 2 birthdays of Jesus.
Yeah, you talking to me?
See,
Yeah, shalom. Yeah.
shalom.
Yeah, I actually sent Sorilla.
Bad connection.
Yeah, you sent him a what? Stock, are you there?
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I sent Sorilla a free copy of my book.
All right.
And yeah, it was called. Hold on, I'm about to restart my computer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bad
All right.
connection.
All right, so we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, so while he's waiting, let's see if there's any questions in the live chat. What the? Again,
What do you say?
we got people saying trying to do the whole thing with trying to ship me and sister and such, and she's saying I'm 32. He's too young for me. She's right. She's 32. I'm 23. That's like a reverse number system right there, people.
So what? What's
So
wrong
what?
with that? Are you two consenting adults? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but and she said that I'm not her type either.
Ah,
Don't-
sure,
don't-
sure you're not.
Don't worry, dude. Age is just a number.
Okay, moving on.
You're two consenting adults. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm adding that to your wiki. I swear,
You better not add anything to that wiki.
I am adding everything to your wiki.
People
No.
have a wiki.
The Great Debate Community wiki, yes.
It's a great debate community wiki.
Yes.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm still not a part of, probably because I don't do anything.
And sister
Cole,
says sister says she wishes she could kill you right now, Pin.
She wishes.
Yeah.
She has to find me first.
Just type in your address to sister, and oh, sent. You
Wait,
will now be hunted down by the world's greatest assassin, the hipster of
She
sister.
wishes.
The
What?
hipster sister.
I've been training for this day for 4 years playing Minecraft. I'm ready. Bring it on.
Everyone, stop shipping it, or I'll ship you with unexpected things.
my
I
question is,
love
I'm
Christian.
pretty sure I started this. Anyway,
That's it. Fine. You know what? Just so y'all can shut it.
my
I am
question is,
shipping sister with
my question,
Todd Habercool.
my question is, what is
Yeah,
Nissan?
for all
sure
of
it
your
doesn't work like
presents,
that.
ssoreal@gmail.com on December 25th.
Wait.
I'm taking donations.
My question is, why does Nissan want to kill Mr. Ping?
Why is Nissan?
Nissan, you said sister, right?
Yeah, sister hipster.
So what does
Yeah.
Nissan? What does Nissan hipster want to kill Mr. Ping?
That is just way too much stretching it. And because Pin keeps shipping me and her.
Stock trader has returned.
Oh, don't worry,
yes,
dude. Don't worry,
so-
don't worry. Don't worry, dude. Age is just a number.
Age is just a number.
And prison is
what-
just a cell.
Hang on. All right, so Stock, are you there?
Ditch.
You have to unmute yourself, son.
Bad connections.
No, I don't know. We'll see if he unmutes himself. We'll see where that goes. I don't know.
Unmute.
Maybe a mic issue or something.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
For the
Yeah, you
moment.
good.
All right.
All right. So you said you wanted to talk about the 2 birthdays of Jesus.
As opposed to 0.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, I sent Sorrel a free copy of my book. It's
There he goes again.
Okay, free copy of a book.
Of his book, apparently.
Yeah, I don't have a copy on my email of a book written, but Surreal does apparently. I guess I'll.
Surreal, you
Yeah.
want to share that
I
around?
read part of it, and it's I'm trying to find it right now. Oh man, you know I've sent him some responses on the internet that actually, you know, in my opinion, refutes his book, but you know he seems not to care. So I was like, man, you know what? Let me bring him on here instead of me just talking to him all the time. I actually have some interesting questions to ask him after he, you know, thoroughly breaks this down, because reading something is one thing, but then hearing it from someone is another. So no.
Just by the first thing he said was that he sent you a free copy of his book. That already gives me the impression that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I don't know. Stock, are you there?
Hello.
All right. Well, we're just gonna move on. Anyone else
Can't
in
afford
the?
better internet if you give your books away for free, man.
Anyone else?
yeah. Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Yeah, I
now?
can hear you now. There you go.
Yes.
For now.
Yeah, I sent Sorrel a free copy of my book, and he should. If you could just send your buddy a copy.
All right, but do you have a question for us, sir?
No, I was planning on doing an open discussion on the topic.
Well, right now we're in Ask Christian Anarchist number 50. So do you have a question that you would like to suggest about the topic, about whether or not if Jesus had 2 birthdays or not, or?
Well, I mean, I can send you a copy of it to your email, and we can review it. You can review the. It's an 8-page book.
Hold on.
You can do that. You can do that in your spare time. But right now, we only have like 40 minutes left of the show. And if you got a question, then we're gonna work with that. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go to somebody else because we got other people that are gonna be wanting to ask some questions.
Hold on, I want to ask Stock real quick. Stock, are you familiar with the information in your book?
What kind of question is that? Obviously, I am.
Okay, then why should we have to read it first? Are you not able to explain it?
Right. I mean, that's why people write books in the first place, right?
Well, are you able to verbally explain it when asked?
Of course, yeah. I'd have to go through the Bible, though.
Okay, that's not what I asked. Are you able to verbally explain what your book says?
Well, maybe Sarur can explain it because he read it, so maybe he can explain it to you guys.
Well,
Exactly what I was.
That's not what I'm asking, Doc. If you understand the subject matter in your book, you should be able to verbally explain it without problem or hesitation. If you can't do that, then you don't understand your own content.
Yeah, but so I think we'll be doing this on Cherry's channel.
Cherry says she's at work.
Oh, she's at work? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're in here. We haven't read your material, and obviously you have an opportunity to tell us what it is you're talking about or asking.
Well, all right, here we go. Well, the question is, did Jesus have 2 birthdays?
Okay. And I don't
in the book of Matthew. Yeah. Well, in the book of Matthew, right?
Uh-huh.
And King Herod is the Edomite. Now, Esau was in Genesis 25 and 27. Esau sold his birthright to his little brother Jacob.
Okay.
Isaac blessed him with the birthright that Esau was supposed to get, right?
Okay.
So, in 4th century AD, this guy, sorry, my audio keeps going in and out. This guy Herod is ruling. He's an Edomite. He's ruling BCE, right?
Mm-hmm.
And according to the narrative, Jesus was an Israelite. That's Romans the 1st chapter, Revelations 22:16, Hebrews 7:14. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So Herod is ruling. This is 4 BCE.
Okay.
Now in Luke, Jesus is not born during the time of Herod. He's born during the time of Archelaus, which was Herod's son. This was in 6 AD. Now Herod died in 4 BC and his son Archelaus took over. And Jesus was born in Luke, the 3rd chapter. He's born during the time of Archelaus in 6 AD. So in Matthew, he's born in 4 BCE. In Matthew, he's born in 4 BCE. And in Luke, he's born in 6 AD. You see what I'm saying? He was born during the first census, which was the first census was done by Cyrenius in 6 AD after Archelaus got usurped in 6 AD. So he's got 2 birthdays: 4 BCE, and 6 AD.
So you're going to rationalize that as having somehow as 2 birthdays instead of a logical inconsistency within the book?
Right. Well,
Here's what here.
Hold
on. Pen. Hold on. While you ask him that, because obviously you're the atheist, going to have your reasons for skepticism on that. What are the verses that you said?
Well, I mean, according to the book of Urantia, it says that there were 2 censuses. There was one in 7 BCE, and then there was one in 6 AD. But there's no Roman sources for the first and second census. The only census that the Romans recorded was in 6 AD, and according to the scholars, the 7 BC census is made up. It's made up.
All right. So can you just tell me what the verses are that tell us when he was born?
And Matthew, it says, when the 3 wise men came to visit him.
Matthew what?
I believe it's chapter 1. It says when Herod had planned to kill all the babies under 2 or 3 years old. That was 4 BCE. So Jesus had to have been born before 4 BC, around 7 or 6 8 BCE.
Matthew, what chapter, what verse?
I believe it's Matthew 1. Let me make sure. Go to Matthew chapter 1 and scroll down. Hold on, let me get it. I'll get
But
it. Hold on.
if you can tell us just what the verse is in Matthew 1.
I'm looking for it.
Oh, this turned out interesting.
There it is. Let's see here. Long chapter either.
Hold on, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm getting it right now. Oh, sorry. I'll start off with this.
Okay, so see it, genealogy. I don't say where it talks about the day in which it was a
it
date.
does. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm looking at chapter 2. It's like the first half of the chapter is all the begats, and the rest of it is apparently Joseph not feeling happy about this.
Mhm.
I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
It's loading right now. It's loading. Hold on. Sorry.
Chapter
My
2,
office word is loading. I'm going to get it right now.
chapter 2
Okay.
verse 1. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod,
Right, yeah.
behold, there came.
Herod, right. There you go. Yeah.
You couldn't remember something as simple as chapter 2, verse 1?
Yeah, I mean, it's chapter 2. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm getting it right now. Hold on.
So chapter 2, verse 1 says he was born in this particular period. And then what's the next verse you said? You said there was a second birthday. Okay.
Luke.
All right. Luke, what?
Luke what?
Hold on. Hold on. My computer's slow.
Okay.
Should be Luke chapter 3. Should be Luke chapter 3.
Luke 3,
Hold on.
what?
Well, I'm going to look through the chapter because he was wrong about the first date. Let's see if he can't figure out this one. The first verse, not the first date.
Well, this is already way past his birth. This because it says the preaching of and baptism of John.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in chapter 3 about a birth. In fact, it says, verse 23, and Jesus himself began to be about 30 years of age. I mean, dude, you wrote a book and you're already sounding like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm actually pulling up my book link right now. Hold on. For some reason, my computer's going slow for some reason. You know.
Wait,
Yeah. Hold on.
wait, you wrote a book?
Yeah, he wrote a book.
Apparently, he wrote a book about this subject, and so far, his notes on it are completely inaccurate, which means he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Got it. I got my link came up. All right.
What? What is it?
Christian, I'm going to leave in about 20 minutes.
All right.
Yes, Luke chapter 2. Luke chapter 2.
All right. Luke 2. All right. What verse?
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Verse 2, and this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor over Syria. And we look at the history. Cyrenius was governor in 6 AD. And Joseph went up from Galilee out of the city to Nazareth and to Judea to the city of David to be taxed with Mary, his wife, his spouse, being great with child. And so it was that they were there. The days were accomplished that she should be delivered, and she brought forth her firstborn son. Right.
That who?
So she brought forth her firstborn son during the time of the taxation of Cyrenius, which was in 6 AD. But in Matthew, she gives birth during the time of Herod, which is in 4 BCE. So this is 12. So he has two birthdays. One in 6 AD, one in 4 BCE.
Okay, so my initial question stands. You seem to interpret this as Jesus, for whatever reason and however, has two different birthdays instead of a logical inconsistency within the book.
I'm trying to figure out.
Well, according to the scholars, because if you read the Book of Urantia, which is a New Age Christian book, there's a few other sources that pull from the same source saying that there was a census in 7 BCE, and then there was a census in 6 AD, and in the book, the works of Josephus, it's quoting the second census, but there's no historical record of the 7 AD census, 7 BCE census, only the 6 AD. Okay, there's no Roman records. There's no Roman records for the 7 BCE census.
That's not what I asked.
There's no Roman records.
That's not what I asked. Even if that's true, okay, I don't know. I'm not looking at the information at the moment, but even if that's true, you are interpreting this as Jesus having two birthdays, however that's even supposed to happen, instead of there being a logical inconsistency within the book.
Well, are you an atheist or do you believe in the Bible?
He's an atheist.
I want to know how you come to the conclusion.
You're an atheist, so you're an atheist. So obviously,
I'm a Christian in the room.
I'm asking you how you come to the conclusion that Jesus had two birthdays.
Well, send me an email. I'll send you a copy of the book, and you can review it. I'll send you a free copy. You can review it yourself.
If you know the information and you understand the information, then you should be able to give me the information.
Oh, you guys are talking over each other. I can't hear you.
If you are familiar with the information and you understand the information, then you should be able to effectively communicate it. If you are unable to do that, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. Well, yeah, like I said, he has two birthdays. One in 4 BCE, one in 6 AD. That's 12-year difference. He has two birthdays.
How do you come to that conclusion, though?
Research. In fact, I'll post a link in the chat.
That didn't tell me anything. How did you come to the conclusion?
Study.
Okay, you can say study and research all you want. That doesn't tell anybody anything.
I studied with a brother named Edomite Slayer. You probably know him as Ezekiel on YouTube. Edomite Slayer.
None of us know who you're talking about.
I don't care who you studied with. I'm asking you how you came to the conclusion. Just tell me how you came to the conclusion. That shouldn't be hard.
It's called exegesis.
Okay, let me ask it because I think this would make it easier for you. What were the exact arguments or data that you found during your study and research that led you to the conclusions? How about that?
Just analyzing the text.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. What did you critically analyze? What did you find during your critical analyzation in the text that get you to the conclusions? That's what we're asking.
Spiritual conviction and a lot of research.
No, that's not what we're asking you, dumb.
Oh my goodness! What in the world? We're asking you something and you're dodging the question.
Okay, again, if you know the information and you are and you understand it, you should effectively be able to communicate it. If you can't do that, then you are a piece of shit who don't understand what they're talking about. How hard is that? Do you know what you're talking about?
I just told you he had two birthdays. One is 6 AD, and then he had one.
How did you come to that conclusion? How hard is that?
By reading the book.
Okay, that's not the question. What did you read?
The scripture said to seek in the book and read. Seek ye and read.
What did you read?
I read the book of Matthew and I read the book of Luke.
Okay, and how did you analyze them?
No, somebody showed it to me.
Okay, so somebody showed it to you and you automatically believe it.
No, I looked at it and I did research.
Okay, then that's what I was asking you. What research did you do?
Oh my goodness.
Well, I started off with a Google search, like most people probably start out.
That's not what I asked you. What did you research? What did you look at?
Well, I'll post the link in the chat that I looked at. I'll post it in the chat. You can read it.
We're asking a simple question. No,
it's not hard. This isn't hard. Just tell us what you read.
What was your source? What is your citation?
Jesus, Christian, you realize that Gary gives us more information than this.
Yeah, and that's a shocker.
That's a real big shocker.
Yeah.
Anybody who don't know, I refer to G-Man as Gary because I don't respect him, and I'm not going to call him by the name that he wishes us to call him.
Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing: is he says this, but it's not like this is a consensus among scholarship. In fact,
It's not.
In fact, I'm looking actually at because he says the thing about for example, the dating of the date. Yeah, the census. That it happens six.
There's the link. There's the link right there in the chat room. I posted the link to the research.
Yeah, hold on.
So go to that page and read.
Hang on.
You gave us a book, dude. You're gonna have to summarize this.
Yeah. So go. So the six.
No, I just posted a link in the chat room.
Hang
No,
on.
you didn't
So,
post it. You posted a citation
Hang
and you
on.
posted a fucking book's worth. Tell us what it says.
I just posted something in the chat. If you can see.
Yes,
okay.
I know.
Okay. All right. Hold on, because this is getting ridiculous. All right. So
Getting
here's
really
what I just want to postulate: is that he's saying it happened in 6 BCE, and that the narrative that was written of Herod was in 4 BCE. However,
Yeah, he died in 4 BC. Yeah, so he was born around 6 or 7 BC.
And in Dr. Raymond Brown's book, An Adult Christ at Christmas, Essays on the 3 Biblical Christmas Stories, he basically says the following on page 17 of his book, which is, quote, there are formidable historical difficulties about every facet of Luke's description and dating of the Quirinius census, and most critical scholars acknowledge a confusion and misdating on Luke's part.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right. And he puts a footnote saying that minor difficulties are that there was no single census of the whole Roman Empire under Augustus, and that there is no evidence that Roman censuses required one to go to one's place of ancestry unless one had property there. More serious is Luke's connection between the reign of Herod the Great. Hang on, I'm not done. I'm not done yet. And the census under Quirinius. Herod died in 4 BC. Quirinius became governor in Syria and conducted the first Roman census of Judea in AD 627. There's not even a consensus on the date of if it was 6 or 7, apparently. And notice it was a census of Judea, not of Galilee, as Luke assumes. In Acts 5:37, Luke mistakenly mentions the revolt of Judas the Galilean, provoked by the census of Quirinius after the revolt of Theudius, which occurred in AD 44 through 46. And he references his commentary to the birth of Messiah.
But there's redaction in the text. There's redaction in the book of Luke.
Hold on, Stock. Can you see what Christian's doing here?
Right. Well, see, here's the problem.
No, do you see what Christian's doing here? You know what he's doing that you are refusing to do?
Well, here's the problem. They say that people think that Joseph didn't have any property in Galilee.
Follow me along here.
Hold on.
Do you see what Christian's doing that you're refusing to do? He's giving you information, and you haven't given us a damn thing yet.
I just posted the information in the chat room, in the group chat room.
I told you that none of us are going to take 30 minutes of our lives to read a fucking book. You're going to have to summarize it. And if you can't do that, you don't know what it says.
It's not a book. It's a link. It's not a book. This is not my book I posted.
Okay,
I posted
this is not a book. This is a citation. Okay? You got to know the difference if you're going to argue these things. B, if you don't know what it says, then if you know what it says, then you should be able to say what it says. And none of us are going to take the time.
Well, and rebuttal to what he just said. What people don't know is that Joseph had 2 wives. He went up to Bethlehem to get taxed because he had a wife. Mary wasn't his only wife. He had 2 wives. That's what people don't know.
So what? What does that have to do with two birthdays for Jesus?
Because you have to start the book of Luke and call it forwards. You have to,
Yeah, and I just read to you that it's possible that this could have either been a mistake on Luke's part in regards to the fact that he did gather his information from multiple sources, and this could have been something that someone must have misspoke during this particular thing.
The Bible's not infallible. The Bible's not infallible.
Will you let me finish?
Yeah,
or that is a scribal error that has not been found to be corrected yet based upon the manuscript collections that we have. Old Testament has the same kind of thing in regards to a specific amount of horse carriers or something that I think it was either Saul or David had. So there are certainly scribal mistakes that have been copied into, but these scribal mistakes or errors really do not have any effective change upon doctrines, and yet you're wanting to see these things instead of trying to focus on what is known as harmonization, which has gone into every single time of when we're looking at different witnesses and testimonies of certain accounts. We harmonize certain things to try to figure out what is the most accurate facts of life, which could have been misspokings or certain things that weren't exactly accurate. And again, this doesn't remove the infallibility of the scriptures. This is just trying to focus on the context and the culture in which the text is written, and realizing that they are written still through human authors inspired by God. Inspiration of the word does not mean that God directly authored them. He used human authors using their language and such, and using sometimes even their limitations. That's why we have the amount of manuscripts with those kinds of different textual variants, sir. So
really, well, let's go to Jeremiah. Read Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2.
Hold on. I am more
Jeremiah 30. What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Hold on, Stock. I am more.
Because that's exactly what we have to do. What we talked about.
Stock.
The Bible is redaction in the text.
Stock. I am more inclined to agree with and even believe Christian Anarchist because he's giving us information and telling us where he got this information, and you're not doing any of that. Do you have a counter argument?
Yes, my counter argument is he said, there was no reason for Joseph to go up to what it was, Galilee, to get taxed. A lot of people don't know is that he had two wives. He had a house in the area. So he went to go tax his second house there. That's what a lot of people don't know. They don't know that history.
So what?
So that cut, what he just explained comes from a lack.
Okay, I don't give two shits if Joseph went one place or another. I'm more worried about the fact that you think Jesus had two birthdays and you're not giving any information for that. Christian.
No, he just said there's redaction in the text. That the text the book of Luke is not infallible.
So you say, but Christian is giving us information that shows that it is fallible, and that you're not giving us anything that says it's not infallible.
Oh, so it's fallible? A Christian is calling his own book fallible?
Yeah, there's the thing. I never said it was fallible.
Well, if there's a mistake if there's
most Christians claim is infallible, that the book is infallible. Most Christians will claim.
Right.
Okay, you can jump on him for that all you want. I don't give a shit. If you want to avoid the argument that you want to make, fine. You can do that.
Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, because you just talked about describe, who inspired God, inspired the prophets to write the book. Read Jeremiah 30 and 2. It's going to give some light to this.
Okay.
I'm not worried about that. I want to know why you believe in
I'll go to it. So
take your time. I know it's hard.
Yeah, Stock, you gonna respond to that?
Yeah, read Jeremiah 30 and 2.
No,
okay, again,
I'll read it, but you're gonna have to respond to Penn, because at the same time, I'm curious to see how you respond to his objection. Because so far,
okay, I just
hold on. Your case would not stand against a Christian or an atheist, it seems.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's no Roman records of the first census and 7. Hold on. My mic keeps going on. Yeah, there's no record of the 7 BCE census. There's only one census in the Roman records, which is 6 AD. So you'd have to throw out the book of Luke and fallible and label it tampered with,
So your conclusion is to claim that Jesus had two birthdays instead of finding a logical error in the text,
or a harmonization within the text, trying to figure out about textual variance within the gospel.
Well, the question is, this guy even exist? Did he have a father? Did he have a physical father? Because according to Luke 133, he descended from David and Solomon. That to sit on the throne, the Israelite throne, you have to be a descendant of David and Solomon. So if he doesn't have a father, he can't sit on the throne.
We're happy for you. That doesn't answer the question, dude.
Yeah, and that's why the mother is Mary.
No. See that comes if you. First century church father, you see this, that the Luke 3's genealogy it's also Joseph's genealogy.
It's not just the Luke genealogy, it's also the rest of the Gospels genealogy.
Yeah, well, Matthew and Luke's genealogy is not that's a Christian fallacy.
I don't understand what you're talking about. I mean,
Most people think that Luke the third chapter.
That's a what? That's a what?
Most people think that Luke the third chapter is Mary's genealogy, when really it's Joseph's genealogy. He had two fathers according to the law of Deuteronomy 25.
okay, so it says Mary on the genealogy, or does it say Luke's genealogy?
It's not Joseph's genealogy.
Yes, it is. If you read the first Eusebius,
No, it's not.
Eusebius, you know.
I don't care what Eusebius has to say on it.
In Matthew? Is this Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew and Luke. Matthew and Luke is both his genealogy.
No, they're not. No, they're not. You got because you got inconsistencies here. There are clear differences between the two genealogies.
Yes, because he had two dads. Eli and Jacob.
He did not have two biological dads.
No, see, you're not researching. He had two dads according to the law of Deuteronomy.
Says the guy who won't even give us his
when
research.
a man doesn't raise up seed.
Well, you got one biological father, and then you have what's called the father-in-law. Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, Jacob and Eli. Now, one of his real father died childless, so his brother raised up seed to him. So both of them were considered his fathers, but they had different genealogies because they were half brothers. That's why you see two different genealogies in Matthew and Luke.
No, I disagree with that.
Well, I can prove it. I can prove. Oh, I'll post the video in the chat. We can watch it right now.
No, we're not watching a video. You're gonna explain, go into the arguments. If you're not gonna do that, then you're wasting our time here.
Well, yeah, like I said, Matthew is the lineage. Yeah,
I've already told you that if you can't explain the information that you have, then you don't know what you're talking about.
I think the reason why the significance of Joseph's presence in Luke's genealogy is according to the Israelite tradition, because it's customary for the genealogies to follow the man, even if they weren't naturally related. I mean, I believe Luke was just trying to keep true to the Israelite custom. If you notice, notice how Matthew.
Oh, this is Brother Velke.
Wait, hold up.
Notice how Matthew is the only one that makes mention of the names of women, including, Ruth and Rahab and so on and so forth. The Luke's genealogy only mentions the men. So I mean, right. So who else would Luke say that Jesus was the son of? I mean, I agree with you.
Jacob and Eli were brothers, but one died.
But I don't know if that. I don't believe that it's Luke's. It's Joseph's genealogy, though.
Well, according to the first century scholars, it's Luke's genealogy, according to them.
Okay, and just because a scholar says something doesn't mean that it's true, because scholars can say anything. There's a Muslim scholar that says Muhammad never existed.
Great Millstone, Long Island. Go to my page, Great Millstone, Long Island, when you get a chance.
Hey, no. Listen.
Do some research.
Yeah, I can do research. The issue is bringing about arguments. Me and Veckel have been bringing out arguments to show that the infallible text of the Word of God can have these differences among things on whatever you're bringing up, and explain the genealogies and such, where you just simply say, well, scholars have said this or scholars said that. You're arguing like Shabir Ali, sir.
Read Jeremiah 32.
I've already read it. It simply says that God has ordered these people to write. Again, that is when he's speaking to a specific person. That does not prove your point or what we are talking about.
Let me ask you, did Jesus have a father? Because you have to send it of David and Solomon.
Yeah, Jesus had a father, God.
Hold on, guys. I think we're getting away from the initial point here. I still want to know why he thinks that Jesus had 2 birthdays.
Yeah, that's what the main topic was. Stay on it.
Okay, yeah. Why did Jesus have 2 birthdays?
He said Matthew 3:1 and then Luke chapter 2.
Wait, talking about Jesus being? Does he believe Jesus was born again?
Like born again, as if literally, I guess, born again, because he says
like born again, like the same way humans are, or
no, he says like in Matthew, it says that in those what was it Matthew or so Matthew 2. Yeah, Matthew 2 or something, that it was born in the days of Herod the king. And then the other one in Luke, it talks about
Archelaus. He's one to time about Archelaus, which was the son of.
Oh, he's pointing out an alleged contradiction. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, yes.
In the date of the birth.
So in Luke, he's born in the time of Archelaus when he got usurped. It was in 6 AD. But in Matthew, he's born in 4 BCE or 4 to 7 BCE.
Oh,
the top of my
you're
head.
going by the census. You're going by the census mentioned in Luke 2?
Yeah, right. You know, the census of Cyrenius.
There you go. There you go. That's the problem. No, it's obviously not two birthdays. And there's actually misunderstanding with the census that's mentioned in Luke chapter 2.
Well, they claim that there's two censuses, but the historians say that it's ahistorical, that it's not historical.
Yeah, and you're not telling us what their data is that comes to that. So let Veckel finish his point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have it with me right now, but there's some really, really good explanations for the issue with Quirinius, I think his name is.
Cyrenius. He had two names, though.
Right. And oh man, I wish I could remember exactly what it is, but if I remember correctly, it's something along the lines of you know what, let me get back to you on that one, because I'm trying to remember exactly how to word it. But
they're trying to say there were two censuses, but there's no historical proof. There's no facsimile. There's no historical evidence of it, and the scholars dismiss it as fable.
Okay, based on what data?
No, I don't.
I just posted a link in the chat, historian.net.
Quote the data. Quote what you just gave us the link to. Quote the word in which you are looking at the page.
My computer's moving slow, so I don't want to click the link and get clicked out. So if you guys can click the link,
sir, you're not going to get clicked out. You click it, it opens up to a page. You're still in this hangout.
Yeah. That's my computer's moving slow. So like, yeah, if you just click the link and read the first verse,
let me just say this: you ask us to click that link, then you're automatically closed. We're moving on because we're not going to. You are in here. You have the information. It is in your head. You're the one proposing the thing. So
yeah, you have the trivial description and the WCIW in Ramsey.
Defend your argument with your own words, or you're wasting our time and everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, the only proof that the Christians have, the only source the Christians have is the trivial inscription and W.M. Ramsey's work. Just being considered heresy.
Okay, can you cite the material? Meaning, can you give a quote like I quoted you, Raymond Brown?
This is a quote from the same source I just posted.
Can you quote me? Answer my question. Can you quote me like I quoted? Can you quote these sources just like I quoted Raymond Brown? Yes or no?
Okay, here we go. It's too much to read at once. But
Christian,
there was a W. Ramsey.
Christian, real quick,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go get my show started. Everyone who's interested at MX Pin Valentine, I'm going to talk about this conversation on my show. Dude, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You can't quote your own sources. You might as well just move on. That's my final say.
Before we go, the question is, did Jesus have a biological father? Because you have to see
Probably not. You're done. You're done.
No,
I'm out later.
He did not have a biological father.
Go do some research, and when you finally know your information, come back to us, and we'll actually have a conversation. Is that good for you?
Jesus did not have a biological father according to the scriptures.
Okay, let's go to Romans chapter 1, verse 3.
I'm out, y'all. Come watch my show when Christian's over, on at 8 o'clock.
Go ahead. Go do so. All right. All right, so Romans.
Okay, read Romans 1 and 3.
1 and 3.
Romans 1 and 3. Okay.
Then we go to Revelations 22 and 16.
Yeah, Romans 1:3 says, concerning his son Jesus Christ, our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. Okay, what's wrong with that?
The seed of David according to the flesh.
Yeah, right. So you're looking at the word seed or sperma as it's used in the Greek. Is that the problem? Is that the issue?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The word there is sperma, which means he had a physical father.
Look what it says. Wait. Look what it says though. It says according to the seed of who? David. Does it say Joseph? David.
Yeah, yes, because Joseph was a descendant of David. If you read Matthew's, he was the direct descendant of David.
It's asserted that so was Mary.
No, she was from the tribe of Levi, I believe.
You believe, but you don't know.
You believe, but you don't.
They don't know. She was from the tribe of Levi. She wasn't a
Judite. Just to quote you, sir, there are scholars who say that most certainly 100% she is.
Yeah. In fact, there's other scholars that'll say that that's her genealogy that's in Luke.
Yes.
No, that's
See?
incorrect. That's incorrect.
According to who?
Wait. But you,
According to
but you,
UC
wait, sir,
Eusebius, that's Joseph's
sir,
genealogy.
wait, sir. Hold on. You do recognize though that in Luke, okay, you got names of you got different names of different people here.
I already explained it. I told you Jacob and Heli were half brothers. That's why they have different genealogies.
Where'd you get that idea from? Where'd you get that idea from? Jacob and Eli being half brothers. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, they had half brothers. That's why they got different genealogies mentioned.
Wait, no.
You're not doing research.
No. Can you please explain to us where'd you get that idea that Jacob and Eli? Because I know you talking about Jacob. You're talking about Jacob from Matthew's genealogy and Eli mentioned in Luke's genealogy. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did you get the idea from that they were half brothers? Where's that come from? Huh? Hello?
You cut out there, Stock.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it right.
We're all over the place. We first got to
muting
talk
you.
about. We first got to finish talking about the seed issue as mentioned in Romans 1. But I mean, but now you're saying that Jacob and Eli were half brothers? I've never heard that one before.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna prove it. Hold on 1 second. Now go to
Here we go. Another verse. Hello?
Yes.
No, trying to get Stock.
Revelation.
Huh?
Are you going to jump to another verse now?
I think he said Hesitations chapter 5 verse.
Hold on. Say again, Stock. You there?
I think he
Jacob
said,
and Eli are half brothers. Now wait.
I'm here.
All right. What was the verse?
Verse Contradictions chapter 4 verse 19.
Well, let me respond to the Romans 3 thing. I mean, because again, I brought this up in a debate that I had about it. It's a simple problem that what I call the anti-birthers have when using this line of fallacious reasoning, and they look at the word sperma being used here in this verse, and they think, aha, sperm. See, you see the sperm. You know, no, that doesn't mean that Jesus was the biological son of Joseph. It just simply means that he was a biological descendant of David, as you and I are biological descendants of Eve, or Adam and Eve, right? That doesn't mean that we're directly related. That doesn't mean Adam is our direct father. If we're going to assume
I just posted in the chat. I just posted the link.
okay,
Like you should see it right there in the chat.
which argument we're looking at? We're looking at Romans 1:3, or talking about the biological Jacob?
Yeah, Matthew and Luke.
Okay, but you don't just post the links, because people are listening and they're not gonna have time to go to
in this chat.
Can you point to us? All right, let's talk. Which top subject you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the seed issue, or you want to talk about Jacob and Eli being brothers?
Jacob and Eli discussion. Let's get quick. You guys can play the video in the chat room, right?
No, we're not doing that because one, we're actually out of time and we're extending it just to get this conversation over. Also,
if we can just watch the first 5 minutes
hang
of the video.
on. No. I'm talking. Let me finish. Okay, I'm letting you talk, and whenever you're having your turn, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I ask likewise. You show me the same respect. You mentioned Eusebius. The times that he is not exactly reliable when it comes to quoting and bringing about certain informations, because one, he's from the 4th century, so he's definitely past the time, and he's obviously speculating his own theories, and early church is starting to go through some form of different theories and corruptions at this time. For another reason, Eusebius cites Josephus's work, but inserts interpolations that Josephus never originally written down. And so when you see a Jew that rejects Christianity saying that Jesus was the Christ and all of these kinds of things, no regular Jew that rejected Christianity, which that is what Josephus was, would say that, and Eusebius made a historical error, and we have earlier manuscripts from Josephus's work that show that it lacked these certain passages. So Eusebius, as a historian, had made mistakes. So he is, in other words, some of the times he's not reliable, and whenever we see things like this that contradict earlier sources, like earlier church fathers before him, as well as just the text of the Bible, which is more authoritative than Eusebius, as well as the early manuscripts that would even predate Eusebius, they are of more authority than Eusebius himself. So you're simply appealing to an authority of one that has made errors in historical mistakes to they make some kind of point.
Well, according to the works, Josephus and Eusebius are pulling from in Bible Gateway and the Minor Bible, all pulling from the Leningrad Codex and the Masoretic text, while Josephus and Eusebius are pulling from the Greek Septuagint and sources that are older than the Masoretic and Leningrad Codex.
Doesn't matter. Josephus said something in his Antiquities of the Jews, and he's making a historical footnote about Jesus being crucified and was ordered to be crucified by Pontius Pilate, and that there was a group called Christians that were named after him. And that is really all we see, other than in Eusebius's copy. It is we see interpolations in which Eusebius says, you know what, we're going to insert these different words, like Josephus will say that Jesus was the Christ, or that Josephus talks about the resurrection as if he believes in what the resurrection is and what it means. So there's
that.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was that, Stock?
You have two grand views. One view is that when you die, you go to heaven or hell. The other view is that
No. Can you
sleep in the grave?
Are you going to respond to the fact that Eusebius made a error in that he made interpolations into the text of what Josephus?
No, I can prove that.
So you can.
Okay, Matthew being genealogy is accurate. I can.
No, that's not what I'm asking you.
About that.
That's not what I'm asking you. Can you stay on topic? I'm asking you.
It's all over the place.
Can you tell me where did Josephus, in the early copies of his manuscript, can a Jew who doesn't believe in Christianity say that Jesus was the Christ and that he believes in the resurrection of Jesus?
Well, I mean, from my understanding, that was inserted in the text. The whole Jesus thing was inserted into.
Okay, so that was inserted by, as scholars note, Eusebius. Eusebius inserted these things about Josephus saying that Jesus was the Christ and that he was resurrected. So these things are interpolations by Eusebius, meaning that Eusebius is, as a historian, trying to record down and cite down a work of antiquity from the 1st century or early 2nd century, and he doesn't even get it right.
Also, I'd like to mention something too. There's quite a few sources out there that answer to the objection about the census of Quirinius and stuff like that. And I wrote one of the responses down. One of the questions is, Quirinius was not governor until 6 AD, but Jesus was born under Herod the Great around 4 BC. This could not be the
Hello.
Conducted from 6 AD to 7 AD.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Just barely.
Yeah. And the answer to that,
Okay,
a scholar would answer, that the census.
Can you hear me, guys? I'm sorry.
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep. And this scholar suggested that census that's spoken of in Luke chapter 2 was not completed until Quirinius. So it actually had a long ongoing. It had a beginning, and then it wasn't actually completed until Quirinius. And they say this is the reason why Quirinius's name is associated with the census. So the census that's mentioned in Luke, it wasn't a one-time thing a one-day thing that was going on. It was actually a part of an ongoing thing that was, and then it just happened to be what Luke is talking about is Luke's story is happening during that period of that census that was going on. This is what the one scholar would assert. And it makes sense because other scholars are saying.
Let me ask you, and Matthew, they fled to Egypt.
Mhm.
In the book of Luke, they're showing baby Jesus off in Bethlehem, in Judea, in Jerusalem. They're showing them off, but in Matthew, they fled to Egypt.
Yeah, they fled to
Because
Egypt.
Herod was trying to kill the baby. So which one is it? Did they flee to Egypt? Did they flee to Egypt, or were they in Jerusalem?
Well, he wasn't.
Because Mary had to do the.
Wait. Are you asking where he was born or where did they fled to? Because those are two different things. He was born in Bethlehem, as the prophecy in Micah, I think Micah 2 says, and we see it manifested in Matthew.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So because Herod wanted to kill the baby Jesus, he wanted to kill all the babies, all the Hebrew babies.
Right, that's why they went to Egypt, right? And that also fulfilled
but
prophecy when after the edict was done, they left Egypt, therefore fulfilling the prophecy.
Right, but he never went back up there because he was scared because Archelaus came in the roll ship. If you read Matthew, he never went back to Bethlehem, I believe.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Sound like you're talking about two different things. The chronology is that Joseph and Mary went to Bethlehem, and that's where she gave birth. Okay, after he was born, Herod put out the edict that all babies under 2 years old were to be killed. So they went to Egypt.
Don't go to Egypt. They didn't go to Egypt.
Not according to the text. They did.
Hey, look, they didn't go to Egypt. So which one is it?
They wait. So you saying that because Luke doesn't say Egypt, that they didn't, there's a contradiction?
The Bible repeats itself. Like in Hebrew, it repeats itself. The stories repeat themselves verbatim in the Bible. When they talk about two different stories in the text, a lot of times they repeat each other.
Wait, tell us what Luke says then.
Luke she did the birthrights where you had to sacrifice 2 pigeons, in exchange for the sin offering. She had to do all that. She had to do the funeral. She had to do the birth.
Wait. You're saying Luke in Luke they never fled from the edict?
Yeah, they never fled. They never fled from the edict. In Luke, they're in Jerusalem showing off baby Jesus. It's 2 different stories.
Wait. Hold on. Wait, can you verify that? Because you're confusing me. I don't know if that's. I think in Luke they do mention them going to Egypt because they talk about the prophecy of that's fulfilled, of them coming out of Egypt, the Messiah coming out of Egypt.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that in the text. I didn't see that.
That's in Matthew chapter 2. But
back up. Hold on. We got to cut it off because we're out of time. Hold on. We're out of time and we have to end the show. So thank y'all for.
Yo, Raquel, call me. I left my number in the chat. Call me after this.
You can stay in the hangout.
Right. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do after show. For those who want to join the Discord, we're gonna take it to there. So if y'all want to join in for that, feel free to head on over. I'll be there with you after checking up on Skylar and see what's going on. But until then, I'll see y'all next Friday. This has been the Christian Anarchist. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. So wish that upon you. Have a good day.